Joining us now, a good friend from my native North Carolina, though I represented Arizona for 6 terms in the Congress of the United States. It is Congresswoman Renee Ellmers. Renee, welcome to America's Forum.
Good to be with you again. Wonderful to hear from you. And yes, I think the American people are standing by today, and they're saying this is something that we want. We need Keystone Pipeline to go in. We just simply can't see these delays any further. And, the president is just playing on politics right now, and I think the American people are seeing through that.
Now, Renee, when you're out doing your town halls in the area around Cary and east central North Carolina, do people bring up the Keystone Pipeline as an example of a stalemate in Washington? Is this one of the things you hear about the most when you're involved in town halls?
Well, basically when I'm talking to my constituents and when I'm talking to the good people of North Carolina back home, they're talking about why aren't we creating more jobs? Why isn't this economy turning around? Why are we still having to contend with Obamacare? They're concerned about all the scandals that are taking place here in Washington in the agencies that they hear about every day. And, let's get to the bottom of these issues. And yes, Keystone Pipeline is one of the issues that they bring up because they see this as a jobs issue. They understand that thousands of jobs are going to be created, good-paying jobs, hard-working jobs that will be sustainable into the future. And they are very concerned about the fact that this administration continuously fights the initiative to become more energy independent. North America has incredible resources, and we should be energy independent in this country and less dependent on other countries outside of the United States and Canada, where we are compromising ourselves every day on this issue, and it is the issue.
Renee Ellmers, if memory serves, you grew up in Michigan and moved south to Dunn, North Carolina with your spouse, the establishment of a medical practice where I believe you also worked. So you have kind of an inside look at what happens in terms of the practice of medicine and the administration of a medical office and, of course, just nursing. I'm very interested in your take on Obamacare. Now, with all the attendant problems that so many conservatives were warning their constituents about, is Obamacare far and away the biggest issue you hear from constituents about these days?
I would say that it is definitely, again, one of the top 3. It's jobs, the economy, and Obamacare. And many times when we're talking about those issues, we're talking about the same thing because Obamacare is one of those issues that are holding our job creators back. That basically those who would be creating more jobs, those who would be investing in their businesses and hiring more employees, are having to step back and say, I don't know what this legislation will do to me in the future. It's already costing more money to provide health care coverage for employees. It's already costing more families in North Carolina. It's so funny, JD. Back, before I ever decided to run for office, as a nurse, I was speaking out against Obamacare. And, of course, we didn't know it as Obamacare at the time. We just knew that President Obama was putting forward a national, government takeover of health care. And all of the things that we talked about of the dangers that would come with this are the things that are coming to fruition now with skyrocketing health care premium costs, with loss of doctors, loss of hospitals, loss of insurance plans. All of these things are playing out, and the American people see this. And I believe strongly that the American people want alternatives to affordable health care other than Obamacare. And that's what we as Republicans are talking about. What are the alternatives that will achieve the goals that Obamacare put forward, but do it and keep it at a patient-centered approach?
Renee Ellmers, you talked about job creation and job opportunities. Somebody's after your job, and he's a guy who's got a pretty good deal of name recognition. That's Clay Aiken, of course, gained fame from American Idol. He says he can tap into voters' dissatisfaction with Congress in his challenge to your incumbency. What do you have to say about the challenge from Democrat Clay Aiken?
Well, one thing I'll say, he has a pretty significant primary on his hands. As we know, next Tuesday is primary day in North Carolina. So, he's got a little bit of a fight on his hands as well. But, to the point of inaction in Washington or dissatisfaction that North Carolinians would have with those who are in Washington, it's really coming from the Democrat Party. It's coming straight from the White House on down the line to Harry Reid in the Senate. So if there are things that we're not getting done, it certainly isn't because of any lack of initiative on the part of Republicans here in the House of Representatives, and really on a bipartisan effort. We've sent over numerous jobs bills, job creation bills, slashing red tape and regulations at the with our businesses.
They
And
just
Harry
DOA
Reid
in the
refuses to
Senate,
bring it
are
up.
they not? And we're going to have to leave it there. Congresswoman Renee Ellmers, we thank you for your time, your perspective from the House Energy and Commerce Committee. We look forward to our next visit. Don't you go away. There's more to come on America's Voice.